Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I have not one but two cars that we're doing. Both are going to be the same exact model. Both of these are the brand new 2021 Chevrolet Trailblazers. This is their new subcompact crossover. Some will say it's a glorified hatchback. I don't care. This thing is sweet, and I've got two flavors for you. We got the active model to the left, and then to my right we have this RS model. So if you want an urban dweller, this is the route you'll go. If you want something to go camping in, that's your go-to right there. Both are going to be two-tone models. Black roof on the white one. You got a white roof on this bronze one. And today I'm going to take you on a tour of these cars, and I'm going to show you the key differences in them, and I'm going to tell you why this could very be Chevrolet's new bread and butter vehicle. Both of these cars are about $30,000. They're very similarly equipped, but they also have something that is rare in today's market, and that is excitement behind the wheel. And it's something crazy because Chevrolet is not really known for their subcompact vehicles or even their compact vehicles. They're known for trucks, muscle cars, you know, the Corvette. This thing is so fun to drive, guys. It's like a Mini Cooper, honestly, or you'll hear me say Miata syndrome. This thing has it. It's got that fun aspect of driving. So, without further ado, let's get into these two and let's see what the difference really is, and let's see why this could very well be Chevrolet's new stone that they're gonna turn. Now, before we get to the video, I wanna say a big thank you to everyone who supports this channel. First of all, I can't do these reviews without you guys, so I really appreciate the support. Secondly, if you have not hit that subscribe button already, please do hit that bell in the upper right hand corner. That way you get notifications every time I release a video, okay? Doesn't matter brands, things like that. I'm always talking about random topics. I'm definitely talking about things on my Instagram channel, TikTok, etc. Check it out, guys, because I got a lot of content coming to you and I wouldn't want you guys to miss it. So in saying that, let's get back to the review. So let's start off with the RS model. So RS has always been the sportier trim for Chevrolet, okay? This car is no different. You're gonna notice right off the bat a lot of black contrast on the vehicle. You've got this black grille here with the black bow tie. You've got this dark chrome here that looks actually pretty stylish. A black grille here with openings to feed this motor. I'll go over that in a little bit. And then, not sure if you guys can see, but you do have this carbon fiber or faux carbon fiber trim on the bottom of the bumper and right here in the fog light bezel. Really neat. Gloss black that surrounds the headlight unit. This is the headlight unit. This is actually going to be your indicators and your running light here. Again, this mimics the bigger sibling, the Blazer, because you know Chevrolet is going to more of a split lighting design here. This car is no different. And then of course you got your projector beam fog light down here. This car is white. You've got the black contrast down here, plastic on the bottom. Again, this is a more economical vehicle, so you are going to get some of those materials down here. On the hood, nothing too crazy. It's not bulging or anything like that. They don't need that in this car, strictly because it doesn't have too big of an engine. Now, you have your RS badge here in red. Definitely gives you that sportier vibe. And then everything is symmetrical and mimicked from the other side. Notice how much inlet there is on this grille. There's actually quite a bit. The bottom part is going to be all filled in with plastic, something that you'd expect. And then this is actually completely plastic. This is not hollow at all. So that's what you get on the RS. If we're going to take a look at the active model, let's make note that the whole fascia's changed. This is their more of a adventurous model, if you will. Plastic up here for the grille. This is going to be a tougher molding, okay? It's not going to be a gloss black like the RS model. Same thing with here. These are tough moldings here, okay? If you're taking this thing off-road, you need something a little bit more durable, something that's not painted that's gonna get torn up. Down here, you do have that dark chrome finish. It's also gonna be on the bottom here as a garnish, and then you do have these covers here, and then you do have fog lights built into the bottom. Same headlight unit with that same plastic cladding surrounding it, and then you see the running light is still the same. Bow tie on this one is gonna be the gold color. It's not gonna be black, but it still looks really handsome. And I'm just gonna note, this bronze paint is so beautiful. I love this bronze paint. I've always been a fan of golds, browns, bronze. This paint is beautiful. The sheen, the flake, everything about it is absolutely stunning. I'm probably going to be alone on that opinion, but I'll hold it for myself. So very, very nice here. And then I don't know if I noted earlier, but that dark chrome is also up here as well. So overall, a really, really nice finish. Y'all can see the difference there between this and the RS. As for wheels on the RS, these are 18-inch wheels. They are going to be a machine finish with painted inserts. They are going to be wrapped in hand-cooked tires, and you do have a black bow tie in the middle there. So just a sportier essence overall. Nothing overstyled. It's not understyled. I think it's just right, which is just right for the vehicle. On the active model, these are actually 17s. They are going to be wrapped in a more aggressive tire here. Still a hand-cooked tire, a little bit more durable, more off-road ready. Still machine finish with black inserts. The bow tie is going to be gold on this one. So again, not overstyled, not understyled, but this does have an overall more rugged appearance for the actual wheel set itself. So if we come back to the back of the Trailblazer, you're going to notice that it does have design cues from Big Brother. LED lighting in the rear, incandescent bulbs for the indicator and reverse light, RS badge back here, rear parking sensors. You're going to notice this reflector cleanly built into the sides, plastic cladding again. Its economy roots still shine in certain places, and then you do have this faux carbon fiber trim back here. Now, one thing I think they did really well is the fact that you have these bigger exhaust tips, dual exit exhaust, and they are true exhaust tips. They're not fake. Really good on that one, especially in a world of fake exhausts. Back here, you do have tinted glass, and you will have this bigger spoiler up top, and the third brake light is cleanly integrated. Wiper gonna be in the bottom area. I don't really think they have enough room to put it on the spoiler, but c'est la vie. And then you do have this black bow tie here, cleanly integrated, and the Trailblazer logo is actually gloss black. That's nice. I just love that attention to detail. One thing I'm gonna say, this antenna could have been a shark fin antenna. I don't know why they stuck this giant stick off the top of the roof. It just doesn't look clean to me. I feel like they could have at least shrunk it down, made it into a shark fin antenna. It would have cleaned up the roof line a lot more, but you get what you get. And then the roof rails on the side, you have plastic cladding on the side, but the main part of them are going to be black. And then the roof, okay, this is a dual tone vehicle. The roof is this beautiful black color. It is going to be metallic finish, so you have a lot of flake in it. Looks really handsome on this white body. I'm a fan. So the back of the active trim doesn't change much. You have active badging on here. The Trailblazer logo is no longer black, it is chrome. Bow tie is going to be the standard gold. You have the same rear parking sensors, and then this bottom area is actually this really nice dark chrome, just like the front. You still have true dual exit exhaust. They're different shape. The others are circular. These are more of a quadrilateral, if you remember that from 5th grade. And then you do have this rear garnish back here, which still looks really nice. Reflectors, similar placing there. And then the taillight unit is identical. Everything else is identical. And again, because this one's dual tone, the roof on this one is white, and the roof rails are going to be the same finish, that gloss black with the plastic surround. So the use of plastic back here, not only is it going to be from the economy roots, but again, this is a trail riding car, so of course you need something durable, and they give you that. So I don't think that's a bad thing, and I do think it looks really good amongst this bronze paint, which I am such a fan of this bronze paint. Well done, Chevy. If we're going to talk interiors, let's talk about the RS model first. You have this cloth power driver seat with contrast piping, lumbar support. You have a flat bottom steering wheel with perforated leather and a gloss black insert at the bottom, black bow tie, and then soft touch plastic for the buttons. When you step inside, as I'll do now, you're going to be greeted with push button start, touchscreen. Going to go ahead and turn that down. You've got your Wi-Fi hotspot, loading profile, perfect. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, which is wireless now. Turn that down again. Heated front seats. You do have a wireless phone charger. You've got sport mode. You are going to have your snow mode, USB ports, SD card, and then you see you're going to have on the right hand side your fan speed, left hand side the temperature, and a digital output for the temperature. Stylistically, you got those red surrounds on the vents, red stitching on the steering wheel, and then look at the gauges. Look at that. You even have the RS badging on the left hand side, and you have that honeycomb kind of trimming on the inside of the dash as well. Looks really neat. I love the red surrounds. The red surrounds are absolutely cool. Gives you that kind of race cars vibe. And then over here, look at that flake on this interior trim. Looks really pretty. Gives you a little bit of an upmarket feel. An auto dimming mirror. And then look at this panoramic sunroof for the first time in any compact or subcompact from Chevrolet. They finally did it. OnStar lighting, controls for the sunroof, and then on the passenger side, as you can see, you just have your standard footwell. You've got the same design cues on the passenger side, and you have a grab handle look-alike with a little storage section there, so you can put whatever you need to. Looks very nice. A little party trick for this car is that it does have a power tailgate. To my knowledge, it's the only subcompact to offer one. I could be wrong. And then you do have Bose audio, which is a really nice sound system for the money. So as far as space goes, one thing's for sure, the roof line is very high, so I have a lot of headroom. This seat's really far back, and as you can see, I've got more than enough room back here. Honestly, a ton. It is a little skinnier of a vehicle. It's not that wide of a vehicle. So 2 car seats can still come back here comfortably, but overall, a really nice experience. You don't have anything crazy going on back here. It's just a standard back seat. Standard back seat, still cool. If you're coming into the rear of the Trailblazer, it is a pretty standard size hatch, though it is a power tailgate. You do have tie down points, so if you want to use it for utility reasons, you can. You do have a little light back there, and then underneath, you have your spare tire. So good to see that some companies are including spare tires. And you have a pocket on the side if you want to store anything. The 2 seats do fold down, as does another one. I'm going to show you the greatest party trick for this car. This party trick does come on most Trailblazers, but look at this. Just like the rear seats fold down, the passenger seat also folds down. So if you want to store a canoe or something in this thing and go riding, you can do that. Absolutely incredible. First time I've seen this in a subcompact. Absolutely amazing. Just perfect. I will speak on some minor differences on the interior for the active model. The interior does get this durable vinyl material for the seats. Feels very good. I'm not going to go and say it's a leather because it doesn't feel like it, but it definitely feels good. In addition to that, you have these denim inserts here and in the door card. Look at that. That's really neat. And this bronze finish too. I love my bronze. Feels really nice. Steering wheel, leather wrapped, but it's not flat bottom, and you do have a chrome finish there. And then outside of that, similar features on the inside. Whoo! All right, we are in the Trailblazer, okay? And I'm, as crazy as this sounds, pretty excited to drive this. Again, and I will say again because I already did drive this. Actually, I'm gonna move this real quick. And I'm already very familiar with how this car drives, and I love the way this thing drives. And that's gonna sound weird because a lot of people know that I'm a very performance-oriented person. They're like, this thing, I mean, it's a subcompact. How fun can it be? Very. So let me explain. This car doesn't have a lot of power, right? So it's got a 1.3 turbocharged 3-cylinder motor, made it to a CVT. And I know everybody's like CVT, blah, 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 blah. But it is not that bad. With that 155 horsepower, this is not a heavy car. It's actually fairly light, and this thing zips around, especially because of that CVT. The best way that I can explain this is that this thing has Miata syndrome, where you take a car that's lightweight, doesn't have a lot of power, but you can mash the pedal, zip around corners, and still be under the speed limit. Excuse me. And that is the joy of driving. And that's something that I love the most. Now, as far as space goes, this thing is really the size of like a Mini Cooper. And it shows greatly. You know, the size of this thing is actually very comfortable, but it's also fun in terms of its sizing. If you just get up and go, this thing gives you a ton of fun factor. Now, I will say the suspension is fairly firm in this thing. You know, I mean, there's not a lot of body roll, to be honest. It feels pretty planted for what it is, which I'm actually a little surprised, because usually these economy cars, they'll just get a very floaty suspension. This one doesn't. You get a very firm suspension, and that allows for you to take corners at decent speeds. Now, I will say the build quality of this car is something that I'm a little bit impressed with, not in a generic sense in the car world, but from a General Motors perspective. And what I mean by that is, yes, is it a plastic fantastic interior? To an extent, but the plastics are soft touch plastic, and then they incorporate things like painted pieces that look really nice and feel high end. In addition to that, just the styling of everything, the style of the dash, the steering wheel, just a little bit of design elements, whether it's the red painted inserts of things, like those things matter. And because of that, you don't feel like you cheaped out on this car. Yes, this is a $30,000 car. And people who are shopping this, the bread and butter trims are going to be cheaper than this, right? $22,000, $23,000 cars. At that price point, you don't want to feel like you got it because you couldn't afford something nice. You want to get it because you want to get it. In this car, you want to drive this thing. You feel happy behind the wheel. It really does emulate that feeling, which is what you want, and it's really nice. I mean, it truly is, and that's something that shocks me the most about this car. The drivability with how fun it is, and the fact that everything feels so nice and so well put together that you don't feel like you've settled. You don't feel like you got this because you couldn't get anything nicer. You did get something pretty nice, and it's fun. And that is something that I think General Motors is giving people that we don't expect. We know them for the Tahoe, for the Corvette, etc., etc. We don't know them for fun crossovers or small hatchback, etc. Well, now you can say you do. And this thing is going to be a hit. I can guarantee you. The size of it's very nice. Features are pretty good for the money. Excuse me. A little dehydrated now, not gonna lie. And then on top of that, price point, it's so aggressive. I mean, 30 grand for a car with pretty much every safety feature known to man. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, which is getting more commonplace. And then the styling and everything. I mean, it's just a really well thought out package. And I do think they're going to hit the mark on this one. What I will say though is, I'm curious if they're going to step on some toes with, say, like their tracks, or if the name itself is going to dissuade people from getting it. The reason why I say that, the Trailblazer nameplate, very well known in the Chevy community, but it was known for that gigantic SUV that was known for off-roading. Ooh, that's ironic because I'm looking at a restored Bronco right now, which looks super nice. Wow, that's pretty. It's an old Bronco. Anyways, known for its off-roading prowess. This, you can take it trail riding. All-wheel drive is optional on this, so you can get all-wheel drive. But there are going to be some Chevy purists that are going to be pretty upset at this thing because it is not a big V8 or inline 6 wielding beast of an SUV. It's a fun urban dweller, canyon carver, and yes, I will go as far to say a canyon carver. You can have some fun in this thing in that aspect, or a nice little camping machine. So in saying that, I think that's the only thing that'll really battle this thing out in terms of who's going to be looking at it. Now, in saying that, I think it's a really good car for the money. Build quality is getting higher. It's still that of a stereotypical economy brand. I mean, you're not going to look for Mercedes build quality in an economy branded car. You're just not going to do that. But for what it's worth, I think they did a really good job on this car, design, features, etc. So overall, really, really good job, Chevrolet. I am impressed with this. So in saying that, big shout out time. I do want to give a good shout out to Steve Raymond Chevrolet here in Smyrna, Georgia. I have reviewed some other cars from them, like that ZL1, the Tahoe, etc. And they lent me this car to do a review, and I'm very thankful for that. So if you guys do need any help with a Chevrolet GM product or on the pre-owned side, check them out. I'm going to send the link below in the description. Sorry, I'm trying to pay attention to the driving. But yeah, the description will be below. Ask for DJ. He's a close friend of mine. He's the one who helps me out with this a ton, but he'll get you taken care of. They'll get you taken care of, all in all. So without further ado, I'll see you guys on the next video.